All right, part two, Vibras review. Woo! Um, so yeah, like I said in part one, switching from 5.1 to the WMA Pro setting didn't do anything. Maybe it's just depends on what game you're playing. All the ones I've tested, I didn't hear a difference at all. Um, and another thing I want to point out between the two sets, I've noticed with the Triton decoder box, if you guys have the older, I have the older set, and when there's just complete silence, you hear all that like digital like distortion going on. Um, well, I think I know why that's happening. Um, with the Vibras decoder box, what the box is, what this box does, instead of having that distortion when there's just complete silence, it actually it switches from 5.1 to stereo just to keep the sound coming through, um, which is strange. And in the Triton decoder box, it's instead of I just don't think it knows how to handle just complete silence. So what it does, I think it feeds itself like just so 5.1 distortion, just to keep it, just to keep the signal constant. Um, so I almost prefer that, because what happens with the Vibra set is when it switches to stereo, um, the sound completely changes. You go from having the stereo sound, which all the speakers are on at the same time, and you get a sweet full range. Every single frequency gets hit. It sounds amazing. And then once you start firing your pistol, or there's any 5.1 going on, a sound happens behind you, it immediately switches over to Dolby Digital 5.1. And then all of a sudden, the decoder box is feeding every channel a like specific frequency that the game is telling it to do. So in theory, that makes a lot of sense, but I think you need a headset that's going to be able to accommodate that frequency and that sound, and produce it properly. Um, I don't believe this one does. They're on the right track, but um, I don't think they're quite there yet with it. Um, so yeah, so that's how it handles the silence. So even though the Triton has that distortion going on, it goes away once there's sound. Um, so really, it doesn't really interfere. I mean, you hear it when games are loading and things like that. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of strange. I always wondered why that was, and after comparing these two, and even now, you guys probably can't hear it, but the Vibras decoder box isn't even getting fed a signal. There's no optical cable hooked to it right now, and like every 10 seconds it clicks. It's back there just clicking away behind me. So it's probably, I don't know what it's switching like to and from, but it's doing something back there. So yeah, so we talked about the front speakers. I got them down at about 500 hertz to about 20,000. And this is just what the speakers can do. The decoder box is actually feeding them the whole like every frequency from, like I said, 20 hertz to 20,000. But the speaker doesn't pick up all that sound, unfortunately. The fronts are fine. They're about 200 to 20,000. The rears are about 500 to 20,000. So that's, you're not getting any mid or bass getting fed to that rear channel at all. So